your walk and your talk. Is it congruent? Hey everybody, Coach Brew here. Welcome to another episode of Windshield Wisdom. And we are on the heels of Super Bowl Sunday. So I thought this would be a good time to talk about your walk and your talk. See what I just did there? We're talking about congruence, and here's why. So, a thought I've always had with the Super Bowl, which, let's face it, a lot of people watch for the ads. A thought I've always had about the Super Bowl ads specifically is, how can these companies, these ad agencies, make such a great ad for the Super Bowl, but the commercials tend to be very pedestrian at best, and some just downright suck the other 364 days of the year? What are these brands actually paying for? It's like $5.65 million for a 30-second ad in the 2020 Super Bowl. What are you actually getting? Some of the Super Bowl ads were, quite frankly, bad. But my point with congruence and walking your talk is this, beyond the fact that it seems like a lot of these agencies just sort of mail it in, the other 364. If traditional advertising is so powerful, allegedly, and so great, why don't you see commercials for advertising agencies? That's what I mean by congruence and walking your talk. So if your product's so great, why aren't you actually doing what you do for your clients? Doing what you do for your customers? You see what I mean? The agency's model is, besides traditional media dying, the agency's model is incredibly incongruent. Unless every single one of them, everywhere in the world, just has a line of brands beating down their door for business. Which, what are the odds of that? Slim to none. I think we can all agree on that. There are probably a couple great agencies, iconic, traditional, old, kind of Mad Men-like agencies. Young and Rubicam is one in New York City. I think they're on Madison Avenue. But, besides the iconic ones, I don't think the world is beating a path to their door. And traditional advertising is literally going extinct, with digital, and simply with the lack of trust the public has with ads and endorsements and testimonials and reviews and things. Word of mouth remains king. There are examples all around you of congruence, or a lack thereof, if you look carefully. In my immediate community, I know two nutritionists, or dietitians. I always get those two titles confused. I'm not even sure what the difference is. But anyway, there are two dietitians I know that are in the same market here. And one is very healthy and vibrant looking and walks her talk. Her message is congruent with her actions. The other, to be polite, not so much. Whose business do you think is thriving? And who do you think is constantly out there hustling and emailing and calling me and other people looking for referrals and looking for business and, quote, networking? Yeah, the woman who practices intentional congruence. She's booked solid. She's not, I just talked to her the other day, she's not taking on any new individual clients. She has too much business. So that is an example of what congruence does for you in your business, and the perils of being incredibly incongruent between your walk and your talk. So the Super Bowl ads, I think, are a great example of that. And furthermore, we could talk about creativity and work ethic. If you can harness and channel the powers of your creative, so-called creative genius for an amazing Super Bowl ad. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments on which of the Super Bowl ads were really fantastic. I thought the Google ad was a pretty powerful one. It was a little long. It still doesn't make me want to turn over my data to them, but it evoked a lot of emotion. And that's the goal of an ad, is to get you to feel something and then take action on that feeling. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on which ones you thought were powerful and perhaps actually worked. And talking about feelings, which I know is taboo, but there's showing and there's telling. When it comes to ads, when it comes to your actions, when it comes to anything, showing is always more powerful than telling. And here's what I mean by that. You could tell someone you're super talented and you offer a world-class experience, service, or product, or you could show someone just how well your product works, how world-class your service is through a visual demonstration of the experience, the customer experience. It's going to seem a little ridiculous, a little over the top and goofy, but I think a fun and great example of that is from the world of these made-for-TV infomercials. And infomercials are a little different than the traditional 30-second commercial, but if you've ever seen the infomercial for the ShamWow with the crazy guy Vince, how much water you demonstrate and show the customer that little orange towel is capable of soaking up at once, and then you wring it out into a measuring container so you can quantify just how well it works. Then there's the other one where they put the Flex Seal, I think it's called. They paint the Flex Seal on a mesh screen door, which that screen door is actually the bottom of a John boat, like a fishing boat, and they paddle out onto a lake with it, and the boat doesn't take in water at the bottom of it. That's an example of showing versus telling. So I share all this with you to encourage you to be congruent with your message, show people rather than just tell them. It works much better. And really, ultimately, practice what you preach, people. Practice what you preach. No one's going to trust an unhealthy dietitian. No one's going to trust, as I pull into my gym, no one's going to trust a fat, out-of-shape personal trainer. My two personal trainers, shout out to Shelby Turcott and Kayla Rose, are two of the most physically fit, vibrant, healthy, not just looking, but behaving people you'll ever meet. Sometimes Shelby's in the gym snacking while the rest of us are working out. And when I say snacking, he's eating apple slices, celery sticks with peanut butter. He's constantly hydrating. He's lean, mean fighting machine, and you see just how healthy he is. That's intentional congruence. So I'd encourage you to look at your brand, look at examples all around you. And as you do that, we're all either a great example or a cautionary tale with showing versus telling, walking versus talking. I'm Coach Bruce signing off. This has been another episode of Windshield Wisdom. You want more of this, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Coach BrewTube. Clever, huh? And go to my website, coachbrew.com, sign up for my, it's called the Daily Brew. It's my email list. And when you do that, you're going to get a premium newsletter. This is something people pay $50 a month for, this premium newsletter. You get a free sample of it when you sign up. The issue you're going to receive is 12 ways to double your sales, double your results. So head over to coachbrew.com, take action on that. You'll be glad you did.